Who performs an impact analysis? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about this very, very key concept, and I'm going to debunk some myths and make it very, very simple for you, because there is going to be a time when you have an impact to the project. There just is. And there's a right way to do it and a wrong way. Now, I'll give you both frameworks, but you already know that I hate CPM and I love Takt planning, last planner, and the Kanban method. You already know that. This is a visual lean production plan. This is nothing. It's just a wish list with a lot of complexity. In governments and systems where financial institutions and legal institutions want muddy water so that they can spend more time fighting, you will see a preference for CPM. In fact, it was interesting when I went back and did research to write the book, The 10 Myths of CPM, which is a fantastic book. I hope you read it. I found that the reason, there's actually a research paper done for why CPM is more prevalent and popular than CCPM, critical chain project management. And it's because lawyers and financial institutions loved the ability to have it be wielded as a harsher tool for contractors, and it enabled their lawyers to have more ability to blame them for things that may or may not have been their fault. It's actually, wow, it's actually super crazy. But here's the deal. CPM will narrow your project on a critical path, which is your longest path with no buffers or float, where if any activity is delayed, you delay the whole project. So if you do have an impact, and you will, then you need to come up with a recovery plan. And typically that will be inserted as a fragment in whatever CPM software there is, and you will complete in whatever is in the contract specified a format which is called a time impact analysis, where you show the original baseline, the actual impact, well documented, when what your recovery strategy is and who is to blame and what is needed to recover. Now, these are almost always fruitless, meaning that adding more labor, working overtime, adding crews, rushing, pushing, panicking, bringing all the materials out to the site all at once, or crashing an activity, or what schedulers love to do, which is trade stack, putting too many trades in one area, or trade burdening, making trades work in too many areas all at once. None of those are effective. They'll just make the project worse. The CPM system is an impact, react, never-ending cycle, constantly changing the baseline, constantly going through approvals, and constantly making the problem worse. Now, if you're in a Takt system, you'll be able to see your production plan. You will have buffers at the end of the phase ahead of the milestone. Let me finish that statement. Every time you use a buffer, it is logged for why you had to use it. So that means if you ever run past the end date, you can do an analysis and find out who is responsible, the owner or the contractor, or is it a combination? So that is the best way to do it. And you're not impact, react. You're in a disciplined way, responsibly logging as you go. Now in Takt and Last Planner and the Kanban method, what you'll do is you'll see an impact and you'll see it daily versus CPM, where you may see it either after a week or a month, and it might even be longer than that. But in Takt, you see it right away. And what you'll do is you'll go in and identify what happened. You will identify how it affects your path of critical flow, which is your activities, durations, logic ties, sequence, and your buffers and your trade flow. So you're always going to maintain your trade flow and your buffers. It's going to tell you how you've impacted your path of critical flow, what constraints are making that path of critical flow maintain the way it is. And then you're going to go and do an analysis of at least 12 key things, positive production-minded things that will help you to recover your project. And you will say, okay, this was our strategic baseline, not CPM baseline. This is the impact, these are the options, this is what we recommend, and this is what it does to our buffers and the overall project, and this is the root cause and what goes into the log. And if you need extra time, all of those things are verifiable. In a Takt plan, your sequence is verifiable through the pull plan. Your speed or line of balance is verifiable through your pull plan. Your buffers are verifiable through your pull plan based on your risk analysis. Everything is verifiable from beginning to end so that justification can mathematically and scientifically be made and recovery options be selected from a production mindset. This is the way to do it. And so who does this? In a proper format, the superintendent and PM will do it, and we'll loop in the schedulers and the legal team when necessary. And this will then go to the owner through proper negotiations. Now, if it ever ever hits into arbitration or you go into a legal case, that's where you're going to have to talk to your legal counsel. There are requirements to do it in CPM and in Takt, so you can do it the right way. But basically the PM and the super are the primary, scheduler is the second one, and having a time impact analysis is crucial to properly document these, especially if you're in the CPM system. If you're in the Takt system, then it would only trigger if you ran out of buffers. And if you're like, oh, now I've actually run out of buffers, I need to do a time impact analysis, you can go back and find out why each buffer was utilized based on what impact. So this is who's responsible for it, and I've given you some other context, and I will link you to our website, taktguide.com, taktguide.org has the requirements for how to submit an impact analysis, and we have great documentation in the book Takt Planning. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.